Chosen one, it's crucial that you pay attention right now, more than ever before. You might not realize it, but there are forces and people around you who do not have your best interest at heart. These individuals are not just trying to compete with you, they are actively seeking to diminish your light, your purpose, and the very essence of who you are. Why? Because the radiance you carry, the power of your purpose, exposes the darkness within them. They feel the pressure of their own inadequacies and fears in the face of your truth. And instead of rising to meet the challenge of bettering themselves, they attempt to pull you down. As a chosen one, your mere presence can stir something deep within others. The light you radiate shines so brightly that it can either inspire others to grow or incite envy and discomfort in those who aren't ready to face their own shadows. Some people, when they sense the divine favor upon you, will gravitate toward you, drawn by the purity and strength of your spirit. These people will uplift, encourage, and support your journey because they recognize the power and purpose behind your actions. But not everyone will react this way. There are those who will feel an intense unease when they're around you, and this can manifest in harmful ways. These individuals may outwardly smile, but deep down, they harbor resentment, envy, and even malice toward you. Their negativity doesn't just come from a dislike of who you are, but from a profound discomfort with what you represent, growth, authenticity, and divine purpose. The truth is, they see in you what they are unwilling to face within themselves. Your spiritual evolution acts as a mirror, reflecting back to them the areas of their lives they've been avoiding, the dreams they've let go of, and the fears they've refused to confront. Instead of seeing your growth as inspiration, they view it as a threat to the complacency they've built around themselves. Your awakening forces them to acknowledge the potential within them, the very potential they have suppressed. This confrontation with their own unresolved issues can trigger defensive reactions, ranging from subtle attempts to undermine you to outright efforts to discredit your journey. But here's what's crucial for you to understand. It's not about you. Their reactions are not a reflection of your worth or your path. They are expressions of the internal battles these individuals are waging within themselves. When they see you stepping into your calling, living authentically and boldly as a chosen one, it shines a light on the areas where they are still stuck. Instead of dealing with their discomfort and insecurity, they project those feelings onto you. It is absolutely essential, chosen one, to remain vigilant and discerning as you navigate your spiritual journey. Not everyone who surrounds you has pure intentions, and unfortunately, some of the greatest challenges you'll face may come from those who appear to be friends or allies. These individuals may wear the mask of support and camaraderie, but behind that facade, their true motives may be far from genuine. This is why your intuition, the inner voice that guides and protects you, must become your closest companion. Pay close attention to the subtle signs that often reveal someone's true intentions. It might be a passing comment that seems to undermine your confidence, or a repeated questioning of your motives and decisions. While these actions may seem harmless on the surface, they can be deliberate attempts to plant seeds of doubt within you. These individuals may dismiss your spiritual experiences, downplay your growth, or subtly make you feel as though you are overreaching or being unrealistic. These are red flags that should not be ignored, as they may indicate that this person feels threatened by the direction in which you are headed. However, understand that engaging in confrontations with those who are determined to misunderstand or undermine you is not only a waste of energy, but also a distraction from your higher purpose. As a chosen one, your journey is deeply personal and spiritual, crafted for you alone by forces far greater than the opinions or judgments of others. Seeking external validation or attempting to prove your worth to people who are unwilling or incapable of recognizing it only diverts you from the path you are meant to walk. You must remember that your worth, your value, and your calling are not contingent upon the approval of others. You were chosen for a reason, and that reason exists independently of what anyone else thinks or believes. There will always be those who, out of jealousy, fear, or misunderstanding, try to tear you down. Their efforts to challenge your purpose or sow doubt in your mind are not reflections of your shortcomings, but of their own insecurities. It is imperative that you remain anchored in your truth, confident in the knowledge that you do not need to justify your existence or your journey to anyone. When adversaries attempt to harm or undermine chosen ones, they are often driven by forces deeply rooted in their own insecurities, jealousy, fear, and a desire to exert control over what they cannot understand or replicate. These negative motivations generate a powerful vibrational frequency that inevitably aligns with negative outcomes. Jealousy, for example, arises from a sense of lack. Fear stems from an awareness of one's own inadequacies, and the desire to control comes from an inability to accept that others are walking a path beyond their grasp. All of these emotions are low vibration energies, which, when directed towards someone with a higher calling, can never truly take root or succeed in their destructive aims. Chosen ones, by contrast, operate on a different spiritual frequency. Their journey is marked by purity of intent, alignment with a higher purpose, and spiritual resilience that shields them from external harm. Their strength is not just physical or mental, but deeply spiritual. This inner fortitude acts as an impenetrable shield, protecting them from the negative vibrations others send their way. The higher vibrational frequency that chosen ones operate on makes them untouchable in the face of these lower energies. It's as though their spiritual strength creates a natural barrier, deflecting any harmful energy and sending it back to its source. When adversaries launch their attacks, whether through slander, manipulation, or direct harm, they often do so with the misguided belief that they hold the power to control or diminish a chosen one's light. But what they fail to anticipate is the force that awaits them, a force much greater than any human effort. Instead of achieving their goals, these adversaries find themselves in the midst of a powerful reversal. Their attempts to sow discord or cause damage are met with swift and unavoidable consequences. This isn't just a matter of immediate backlash. It leads to something far deeper and more significant. When chosen ones face negative intentions or harmful actions directed towards them, these challenges often serve as more than mere obstacles. They act as a wake-up call. It is in the midst of this opposition that chosen ones are compelled to dig deeper into their spiritual resources, tapping into reserves of strength and divine wisdom they may not have realized they possessed. Rather than being defeated or overwhelmed by the negativity thrown their way, chosen ones often find that these trials are catalysts for greater self-awareness and spiritual growth. The opposition chosen ones encounter is never accidental. In fact, it is often a sign that they are on the verge of stepping into a higher level of purpose and influence. These attacks, whether through manipulation, slander, or outright sabotage, are designed to shake them. But instead of succumbing to the pressure, chosen ones are reminded of the spiritual power within them. This opposition forces them to confront their own resilience, to re-examine their purpose, and to lean into the divine guidance that has always been present in their lives. One of the most profound effects of facing adversarial actions is the realization of divine authority. When chosen ones endure opposition and hardship, it becomes clear that they are not merely navigating life on their own. They are guided and protected by forces far greater than themselves. This awareness is transformative. It marks the moment when chosen ones shift from seeing their journey as a personal challenge to recognizing it as part of a larger divine plan. Suddenly, their path takes on new meaning, and with this realization comes a deep sense of confidence and purpose. With this realization, chosen ones no longer feel the need to justify themselves to others or seek approval for their path. They recognize that their journey is divinely sanctioned, and this understanding empowers them to stand firm in their truth, regardless of the external circumstances or opposition they face. The adversarial forces that once seemed daunting are now seen as insignificant in comparison to the divine authority backing them. This shift in perspective is a game changer. Feeling like you're being watched or judged by others can be a powerful and often unsettling sign that your true identity as a chosen one has been recognized by those around you. This heightened awareness from others may not always be explicitly stated, but you can sense it in the way they look at you, the way they interact with you, and the subtle shifts in their behavior when you are present. For many chosen ones, this experience can feel like walking through life under a spotlight, constantly being scrutinized, evaluated, and, in some cases, even targeted for harm. This sensation of being observed can stem from the fact that your light, authenticity, and spiritual stature set you apart in ways that others might not fully understand. For those still operating within the confines of societal norms and expectations, your presence can be disruptive. You represent something different, something that challenges their limited worldview and forces them to confront aspects of themselves they might prefer to ignore. As a result, they may project their insecurities onto you, judging you harshly because they feel uncomfortable with your authenticity and spiritual growth. When people begin to realize your unique spiritual status and intentions, their reactions can often be marked by suspicion, hostility, or even outright rejection. This reaction typically arises from their inability to fully grasp the true nature of the light you carry. Your presence disrupts their perceptions of what is familiar and comfortable, challenging their worldview in ways they might not be ready to confront. For many, the authenticity, clarity, and spiritual awakening that you embody can feel threatening, even though you have no intention of causing harm or creating conflict. The light that you carry as a chosen one shines brightly, revealing not only your inner truth, but also casting a light on the shadows and unresolved issues within others. For those who are unprepared to face these aspects of themselves, your presence can feel like an intrusion. You represent a higher level of consciousness and purpose that forces them to question their own lives, their own choices, and even their spiritual paths. This discomfort can manifest as suspicion or hostility, as they struggle to reconcile their own internal conflicts with the truth that your spiritual status brings to the surface. As a result, these individuals may begin to watch you more closely. They scrutinize your every move, searching for any flaw, inconsistency, or mistake that can confirm their biases or justify their unease. This reaction is not uncommon when someone encounters a spiritual presence that they don't fully understand. It can trigger defensive mechanisms, causing them to look for reasons to dismiss or discredit you rather than embracing the growth and reflection that your presence could inspire. As a chosen one, your presence alone can disrupt the status quo. Your authenticity, your spiritual awakening, and your willingness to live in alignment with your higher calling set you apart from the crowd. While many people find comfort in conformity and the familiar, your journey takes you in the opposite direction towards self-discovery, truth, and purpose. This divergence from the norm can provoke a reaction from others who may be unsettled by your choices, not because you aren't doing anything wrong, but because your path highlights their own limitations or the ways they have conformed without questioning. This societal pressure to conform often manifests in subtle ways: expectations of how you should behave, how you should think, what success looks like, and how you should live your life. When you defy these expectations, whether consciously or unconsciously, it creates a ripple effect, drawing more attention to your actions and decisions. As a result, you may feel as if you are constantly being observed, evaluated, or even judged. People around you may begin to question why you don't follow the usual path, why your beliefs are different, or why your life choices seem unconventional. Adversity is indeed an inevitable companion on the journey of chosen ones. But it is through these trials and challenges that the deepest transformation occurs. The path of a chosen one is never easy or straightforward. It is often marked by periods of intense struggle, resistance, and even outright attacks, whether they come in the form of external opposition, internal doubt, or spiritual challenges. Yet, these hardships hold the key to profound personal and spiritual growth. They serve as catalysts, pushing chosen ones to tap into reserves of strength and wisdom that would otherwise remain dormant. When adversity strikes, it can feel overwhelming, as if the weight of the world is bearing down. However, for chosen ones, these moments are not just tests of endurance, but opportunities for awakening. The difficulties they face are divinely orchestrated to shape them into the individuals they are meant to become. These challenges act as spiritual refining fires, burning away the illusions of weakness, fear, and limitation, revealing the core of resilience, power, and enlightenment within. The difficulties they encounter serve as spiritual tests, designed to push them beyond their perceived limits and expose the true depths of their capacity. Faith is not something that can remain theoretical in the face of adversity. It must become an active force, one that chosen ones must draw upon to guide them through the uncertainty, fear, and doubt that trials often bring. Each obstacle they overcome fortifies their belief in a higher purpose, reminding them that they are not alone on this journey, and that their struggles are shaping them into the individuals they are meant to become. Adversity, while often challenging and uncomfortable, acts as a powerful catalyst for growth, especially for chosen ones. It pushes them far beyond the confines of their comfort zones, forcing them to confront their deepest fears, insecurities, and limitations. In these moments of struggle and uncertainty, chosen ones are compelled to tap into parts of themselves they may not have known existed, hidden reserves of courage, resilience, and wisdom that lie dormant until adversity brings them to the surface. Through these trials, they are not only tested but transformed, emerging with a deeper understanding of themselves and a stronger connection to the divine forces guiding their path. When chosen ones are faced with adversity, their first instinct may be to retreat or protect themselves, as with any human being. However, their unique spiritual status means that they are often called to rise above these initial reactions and confront the challenges head-on. This process can feel overwhelming, as adversity often shines a spotlight on their vulnerabilities and perceived weaknesses. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of vulnerability that the seeds of growth are planted. Adversity strips away the illusions of control and safety that comfort zones provide, exposing the raw reality of what lies beneath. Chosen ones are faced with difficult truths about themselves, the world around them, and the spiritual journey they are on. But rather than breaking under the weight of these revelations, they are called to rise to the occasion. This is where true transformation occurs, in the decision to face their fears instead of running from them, to embrace their limitations as opportunities for growth rather than as roadblocks. Adversity plays a crucial role in fostering humility and compassion within chosen ones. Through the trials and tribulations they face, chosen ones are given the opportunity to step outside of themselves and see the larger, collective human experience from a deeper, more empathetic perspective. The struggles they endure shape them into more compassionate and understanding beings, allowing them to connect with others on a profound level. This growth in empathy and humility not only transforms their approach to life, but also enhances their ability to support and uplift those around them. One of the most powerful lessons that adversity teaches chosen ones is that no one is immune to suffering. Regardless of spiritual status or purpose, everyone faces challenges, pain, and uncertainty. By enduring their own hardships, chosen ones come to realize that suffering is a universal experience. This awareness fosters humility, as they are reminded that despite their spiritual gifts or divine calling, they are still human, subject to the same trials as everyone else. This humility grounds them, stripping away any sense of superiority or entitlement, and replaces it with a deep understanding that life's challenges affect all people, regardless of their circumstances. For chosen ones, the principle of divine retribution stands as a powerful reminder of the universal law of cause and effect, often referred to as karma. This immutable law operates beyond human control, ensuring that every action, whether positive or negative, carries corresponding consequences that will eventually return to the one who initiated them. In the spiritual journey of chosen ones, this law serves as a protective mechanism, affirming that those who walk in truth and purpose will ultimately be shielded from harm, while those who act with malice will inevitably face the repercussions of their actions. When adversaries direct negative energy or harmful intentions toward chosen ones, they may believe they are exerting control or causing damage. But what they fail to understand is that the negative energy they unleash does not dissipate. It circulates, gathering strength and returning to its source. This natural law is inescapable. What one sends out into the universe must eventually come back. In this way, divine retribution ensures that those who seek to harm chosen ones are not exempt from the consequences of their actions. The concept of divine retribution is rooted in the universal law of cause and effect, often referred to as karma, which asserts that the energy one puts out into the world will inevitably return to them. For adversaries who direct negative actions or harmful intentions toward chosen ones, their behavior creates a karmic debt that must eventually be repaid. This debt is not imposed by a vengeful deity, but rather is the natural result of their own actions, disrupting the balance of energy in the universe. The consequences they face, whether in the form of setbacks, challenges, or misfortunes, are a direct reflection of the harm they intended to cause. For adversaries of chosen ones, this process can be particularly intense because the spiritual energy surrounding chosen ones is often highly aligned with light, truth, and purpose. When negative energy is directed at such individuals, it is met with a powerful spiritual force that not only deflects the negativity, but amplifies its return to the source. The harm intended for the chosen one is redirected back to the originator, often in ways they do not expect. When adversaries engage in deceitful practices, they set in motion energetic imbalances that disrupt the natural flow of truth, integrity, and harmony. These hidden agendas, whether they involve manipulation, betrayal, or sabotage, are often aimed at undermining the chosen one's spiritual progress and authenticity. Yet, no matter how carefully these acts of deceit are concealed, the universe, governed by the principle of divine justice, ensures that hidden truths will ultimately be revealed. The very forces that adversaries seek to manipulate in their favor will eventually turn against them, restoring balance and bringing light to their actions. Deceit, by its very nature, distorts the flow of energy. It creates a disconnect between one's actions and intentions, fostering a climate of falsehood that blocks the natural alignment with higher truths. When adversaries operate with hidden agendas, they not only cause harm to the chosen ones, but also create a deeper dissonance within their own lives. This misalignment with the universal flow of truth inevitably leads to a cascade of consequences that disrupt their personal peace, success, and spiritual evolution. Yes, exactly. The repercussions that adversaries face as a result of their harmful actions are not merely punitive, but serve as a corrective force, guiding them toward awareness, redemption, and ultimately spiritual growth. This process is deeply connected to the boomerang effect, which I mentioned earlier, where the energy one sends out inevitably returns to them. This cycle is rooted in the principle of divine retribution, which ensures that every action, whether positive or negative, carries with it a corresponding consequence that helps restore balance in the universe. When adversaries act with malice or negativity toward chosen ones, they set in motion a chain of events that ultimately leads back to them. The challenges, setbacks, or misfortunes they experience are not arbitrary punishments, but are designed to prompt them to reflect on their behavior and the harm they have caused. These repercussions act as spiritual mirrors, showing adversaries the impact of their actions and creating opportunities for them to recognize their errors. In this way, the principle of divine retribution functions as a form of cosmic feedback, encouraging personal responsibility and spiritual evolution. Just as a boomerang returns to the hand that throws it, the negative energy adversaries put out eventually returns to them, giving them the chance to learn valuable lessons about cause and effect. These consequences often serve as wake-up calls, urging them to reevaluate their actions and choices. For those who are willing to reflect and grow, these hardships can catalyze a process of inner transformation. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching until the end. If you found this content valuable and want to dive deeper into similar topics, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Your support truly means a lot and helps us continue creating more insightful content. I'd love to hear your thoughts, experiences, or any questions you might have. Feel free to drop them in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more wisdom on your journey.